I did my teacher training here in the Old Royal Naval College in Greenwich. It sits near the Prime Meridian. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's the same place where Elizabeth I was born and where Henry VIII was born. And when Nelson came back and having passed away at the Battle of Trafalgar, he was held in state here until going to the St Paul's Cathedral. And just by chance, I took the National Express coach up from Barnstable, not knowing anything about the place, and I got offered a place doing my teacher training. I did a PGCE in post-compulsory education and training, specialising in English speakers of other languages at master's level. It was constant scrutiny. It was very difficult, thousands of words in essays, loads of lectures, and I did my placement at South Thames College, partly in at Tooting Broadway. And it was a very rewarding year. I was 34 and I graduated at 35. And I worked at a college in West London for 2 years, and I was just below senior lecturer. But it didn't afford me anything. I could only afford a single room flat. Looking at flats where there'd be a shower in one corner and a sink in the other corner and maybe a cooker, and then down the corridor a shared toilet. That's the sort of place I was looking at. And you're asking Google AI or ChatGPT, the equivalency of my £24,000 a year back then would be about £48,000 today. But that's all it afforded me, and I always felt that it should have been something. It used to be Garnet College. My reference said I had completed the course and with continued development I had potential to be an excellent teacher. My reference at Hammersmith and West London College said I always found to be totally reliable and deeply committed to everybody's mind to show the depth of the character and genuine love of teaching. So I was nearly 38 when that was written. So I always thought it should have been a fairly good career. And I write these things and I make these little videos. The last week I had 2 interviews, which was so refreshing. Each one was about 2 hours long, and they were both in further education. And I would have really liked either job. And it goes back to my time at the age of 34, when I trained at the Old Royal Naval College in Greenwich to do teaching in further education at master's level. I mean, my understanding is that very few people had a master's level PGCE in further education. At the time, it was something like 5% of teachers in further education actually had a master's level PGCE, and it really was quite special. And it probably should afford me a house and a car and a fairly good career. As I make a joke, it's a thorn-proof check jacket with 2 barrel pens. But unfortunately, I just kept applying and applying, and getting nowhere, not being chosen. So it was quite a great sadness for me.